what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sensibly Cynical. Today's guest is Phreestyle, a rapper out of Syracuse, New York. He returns to the podcast, this time to promote his new single, We Kiddin. I caught him during transit, so the audio's not the best, but it suffices. Before I bring you my interview with Phreestyle, make sure you check out Sensibly Cynical wherever you get your podcasts. We are on Twitter at Cynical Sensibly. Instagram is Sensibly Cynical Pod. And check out the Facebook page, WordPress, we are on there. Bonfire has all the merch. Subscribe, rate, and review. Review, please. Need reviews. And last but not least, YouTube. Check us out on there. All the interviews, well, minus this one, but most of the interviews will be in video form. That is youtube.com/@Sensibly Cynical. Now, here's my chat with Phreestyle. I want to talk to you about your new single, man. We Kiddin?
Oh, man, absolutely. First, I wanted to thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it. Looking forward to the opportunity to catch back up with you.
Yeah, man.
Really excited about the new single. It's something a little different from a lot of the stuff I've released so far. And it was just an opportunity really to have some fun, just kind of relax a little and kind of, play around with some fun cadences, really get to liven up the energy in the studio. So we all really had a good time making this one.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, you were on Sensibly Cynical about a year and 2 month ago. So
yeah,
what have you been up to since then?
Oh, man, a lot of writing, a lot of writing. We've got a lot of good things in the works, and this year you're going to see a lot more releases coming from myself and a couple of guys that I've been linked with in the Syracuse area. I know you've spoken with you've spoken with Bless the Official before.
He told me something about that, that y'all were going to link.
Yeah, man. We've been hard at work for the last few, especially the last few months. We've really been in there working hard, getting stuff ready to come out. We're about to start hitting some local performance spots in Syracuse. So, it's all the hard work is just at the cusp of fruition. You know what I mean? So we're just excited, man. We've been working hard.
Yeah. Well, I know, man. You've been grinding, man. Independence scene. Has the scene changed or what? I know people are throwing around QR codes now. I've been learning about those.
Yeah, definitely things change, but, the way I see it, man, the most important thing, the priority has to be focusing on the art and honing the craft, you know what I mean? And so that's a big focus for me and my team is we try to block out all the noise and just focus on creating the best that we can create and not getting too sucked up into what's changing or what the new themes or trends may be and just locking in on making good music, making what makes us feel good,
Yeah, I don't think we talked about how you got the name Phreestyle, did we? I can't remember. So for those that don't know, Phreestyle at all, they need to check your stuff out on YouTube. But how did you get the name Phreestyle?
I'm glad you asked because we didn't talk about that before, and I do get the question. A lot of people just assume that because it's freestyle, it's about like freestyling, but it's got a little more texture than that. So the name came along because it's really kind of a core thing in how I create music and how we're creating, trying to build what we're building is that we want to be free in how we approach it. I go to every single studio session and every new piece of music, I treat it like a blank canvas and I try to be unique. I try to be creative and I don't want to let myself be bound or held back by any trends or norms or assumptions about how the music is supposed to be made. You know what I mean? It's really just about being free and staying true to who I am and letting myself be free
man.
and let that show.
And then of course, you put the PH on it, because you had to be a little different.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely. I put a little spin on it, since, my name is Philip spelled with a PH, so I figured I had another way to tie myself into it,
Is it all about how's the marketing been? I know you said you've linked up with some other artists, that you're gonna just drop some music out this year. But how's the marketing been, man? Still the grind?
That is definitely. I've definitely learned in getting this started, man. Marketing is the hardest part. Marketing is the hardest part. But we've learned a lot over the trial and error of seeing what does and doesn't work. So, one of the big things and big changes that are going to be coming up this year is there are going to be a lot more video content that we're going to use in our marketing campaigns for sure.
Yeah.
And what we're really also trying to do is sit down and come and really hammer out a vision in our marketing. You know what I mean? We don't just want to pump each song arbitrarily. We want it all to be building up to our projects and building up to performances that we have lined up, and just trying to be intentional in the steps. Be patient and be intentional in how we market.
Mm-hmm. So for those that didn't listen to the first podcast, how'd you get your start, man?
Oh man, it was the greatest Christmas gift ever. I mean, I've been writing since I was in junior high school, but a couple of years ago, my girlfriend Pepper Torres, she got me a Christmas gift, which was my first trip to like a professional studio, and I mean, it was like love at first record. You know what I mean? I was like, I've been back at it ever since, and it's just. That was just kind of the session that really lit the spark. It's like I think we all have that moment where you're just like, this is what I was put on the earth for. This is definitely it for me.
We talked about some of the, things you got coming up. What's been the hardest part about this?
Really, the hardest part is being patient. The hardest part is being patient, is having all of these ideas and all of these songs that are done or close to done and all these project ideas and performance ideas, but being patient in the fact that, it all can't happen at once. You know what I mean? It's just about a steady stream of work and a slow stream of progress moving forward and just taking one step at a time and just knowing that it'll all line up in due time as long as you put the work in.
Mm-hmm. And advice? What kind of advice you got for the people starting up either in Syracuse or wherever?
The advice I have for anyone trying to start anything is refuse to quit. Don't let quit or failure even be a consideration. No matter how tough it is, no matter how hard it is, no matter how long it seems it's going to take, if you want it, you can have it if you're not willing to accept defeat. That's just determination. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you about a certain line in Who We Kiddin. And I want to talk to you about that. Yeah, man, I pulled a lyric that intrigued me. So it says, engage the target, neutralize, you can probably guess the last one, opposition. That's genius, man. What's the inspiration behind that and then the song, man?
Oh man, I appreciate you picking that out. The inspiration behind that, honestly, it was really kind of an intuitive decision to go that direction with the lyrics. It was something where when I was listening to it, I was just getting this sense of like, of being like this kind of Terminator. You know what I mean? Like just locking in on all of the things that stand in your way and just obliterating them all one step at a time. You know what I mean? And so. That's kind of how it all came together that wonderful night in the basement.
So the actual lyric itself, though, like, what, it seemed out of nowhere, or did it all come together quickly? Like,
it honestly all came together quickly.
What kind of target are we talking about, man?
See, when I say engage the target, that target is anything that's holding you back, anything that's in between you and the success you're after. Engaging any targets, you know what I mean? Neutralizing anything that may oppose progress, you know what I'm saying? If it's in my way, it's locked on and it's done.
It's locked on and locked out. I
hear you, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. So who's in your playlist now, man? Like we're talking about current game.
Current game, I listen first and foremost J. Cole. J. Cole never leaves my playlist. But most recently, I've been listening to a lot of Smino. Actually, a lot of Smino. And I've just recently been listening to the soundtrack for the new Creed movie because it's a Dreamville production. It's got some gems on there. So that sums up my playlist nowadays.
Yeah, so I don't know if you listened to one of the podcasts, Julia Baker. So I had a model on, and she gave me the ultimate Kendrick Lamar. She thinks Kendrick Lamar is essentially the GOAT. And, she laid X, Y, and Z out. Would you agree on that? Like, do you think he's up there in the, like, Mount Rushmore?
I definitely think that he's on the Mount Rushmore, for sure. He's not my personal number one, but I can't argue with anyone who would place him that high because his level of talent and artistry is just something that you don't see in most artists. So I respect him for that for sure. J. Cole's still number one for me, though.
Well, who else? Let's fill out your Mount Rushmore. Who do you got all time? Like, who's on your list?
All right, so my Mount Rushmore, I definitely will put J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar on my Mount Rushmore. I'm putting Big Sean on my Mount Rushmore.
Wow, that's a good one.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. For pure skill, I got to put Black Thought on my Mount Rushmore, one of the most talented lyricists I've ever got to listen to. And honestly, if I'm going to fill that one out, it's a tough one. One more spot available. I got to put Tupac on there.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking you'd go. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or Biggie Smalls.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm born and raised in Los Angeles, so when it comes to Biggie and Tupac, I'm on the Tupac side, but I love Biggie as well. No diss, I love him.
No. You know what I mean? So you said you got stuff in the pipeline. How many songs? We got like 3 songs, 5 songs.
Oh,
what do you got?
No, I wouldn't get you all excited about 5 songs. We've got about 3 projects worth of stuff that's lined up. Now, will it all end up getting out this year? We'll see, because we want to make sure we're releasing it in proper timing and that we're not rushing anything out. But I say we easily got a dozen coming down the pipeline before the end of the year. We're working aggressively over here.
You get Blusty or whoever you want and come back on the podcast and we'll talk about it, man.
Absolutely, man. I'll make sure I let him know. I'll drag him on here whether he wants to or not.
Yeah, well, he told me he was changing things up, like, because I talked to him and then he was like, yeah, I totally switched the type of music I'm doing. So it'll be good catching up with him, man.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Sorry to catch you during transit, but So what have you been doing outside of music, or has it been music and more music?
It's honestly been a whole lot of music. It's still working my 9 to 5 for now. Until we get to the next level. But
until more checks get cashed, I got you.
There we go. But yeah, man. I'm putting, all of the energy is going into this, and this is the year that we make a big dent. You know what I mean? This is the year that we take a step up the ladder for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know you say music, but are you into like video games or anything, or?
Yeah, for
what
sure.
What kind of video games, man? Because I'm thinking about jumping back in.
Listen, get yourself a PlayStation 5, and that's all you need, man. We take care.
What's your ultimate, like, if you had to pick a number one game of all time, are you like Mortal Kombat, Mario?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. Number one game, probably God of War. If I have to give one game the best game of all, like, probably God of War. That's like a hard game to beat.
Dude, I used to play with my mom. I feel bad for my mom. She would hear like, finish him like 10,000 times. I used to play Did you ever play Mortal Kombat back in the day?
Oh yeah, listen, I play Mortal Kombat still. I love that game, man. I remember the old days of button mashing and being up late with my cousins,
like Glacier and
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, hey, Super Mario's coming out movie, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw some rumblings about that. I'm intrigued at the very least.
I mean,
we'll see how they do. I hope,
I hope
they don't mess up a classic.
As long as I don't mess up Bowser or Princess,
Right.
All right, man. Well, the platform is yours, man. Tell people about how they can get this new single you got.
I appreciate that, man. Listen, thank you everybody for joining. Who We Kiddin? Phreestyle, produced by Noble One, an excellent producer out of the West Coast. It's available Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you listen to your music, wherever you stream, you can go stream it right now. If you haven't listened to it, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, exactly. Social media, man. I mean, I know we're on here. You're at The Real Phreestyle, but where else are you at, man?
This is really my main hub of operation at The Real Phreestyle. You can also catch me on Facebook and Twitter. Twitter, I'm at Phreestyle 1906. But if you really want to get in touch with me soon, at The Real Phreestyle right here, Sensibly Cynical.
All right, Phreestyle. Thank you so much. Sorry to catch you on a busy night, but I appreciate you taking time out.
Hey, no problem, man. Appreciate you having me, and hey, we're gonna do it again.
Hey, let's do it, man. Whenever you want, just slide me a DM, and we're good. All right.
Got you, man.
All right,
Appreciate
man.
you.
Take it easy.
You too, man. Peace.
Peace.